Hi everyone, how are you? So today I'm going to talk about the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now I bought this phone thinking to use the iPhone since it had been like I think more than 2 years since I last used an iPhone. But after using it for a few months, I have realized that why I moved away from iPhones. Don't get me wrong, iPhones are very good phones, very dependable, very consistent, and have probably basically one of the best flagships you can buy. However, for me, it does not work because when I start using this, I actually like it initially in terms of its smoothness, its reliability, the social media app. It just works. Everything just works, and the Pro Max versions have probably one of the best battery life of any flagships going around. But the issue is that I have been using S24 Ultra. I am shooting this video on my S24 Ultra. So what this means is that I am used to the premiumness or the customizability of Android, especially for the S24 Ultra and the feature rich options it brings to the table. So after using iPhones for some time, I start feeling something is missing, and I cannot pinpoint that because if you look at cameras, iPhone has one of the best cameras going around, but I think S24 Ultra works better for me, and probably in terms of being from South Asia, we like a bit of brightness and all those things. We are biased towards that maybe. So iPhone gives you a more natural look, which me and my wife personally don't like. We prefer how Samsung processes it. So it's basically a personal opinion. So for cameras, I always go to a Samsung phone. For other things like the customizability, adding widgets and all things, yes, iOS now has widgets, but these are very static widgets. You cannot play around with it too much. In terms of functionality, I prefer the Android, especially the S24 Ultra, the One UI features that brings it to the table. So all in all, even though I like the iPhone, I want to use it, but because of how S24 Ultra is, I actually prefer that. And I moved back to my S24 Ultra as I mentioned in my last video. Yes, iPhone does have some advantage over S24 Ultra. I think in terms of haptics, iPhone is slightly better. In terms of speaker, I found iPhone speakers to be better. Battery life, I think, is comparable. Probably in my use case, I found the iPhone battery life to be slightly better than S24 Ultra, but it depends on what apps, how is a usage case basically. What apps are you using? So it varies. Both will offer very good battery life. So in terms of build quality, both are equal. In terms of, as I mentioned, camera, uh, I prefer the Samsung way of processing things. If you prefer the iPhone way, then of course iPhone is better for you. One thing I would like to say that on the selfie front, I actually prefer S24 Ultra, and I don't think it has to do with my biasness towards the way Samsung processes it, especially in indoor lighting. I actually hate the selfies coming out of iPhone. When you click the selfie on an iPhone in low light, especially indoors in artificial lighting, I mean the viewfinder will show you the pic. You will think it will come out good just looking at the viewfinder, but somehow when iPhone processes it and the final pic comes out, it actually makes it worse. I don't know why is that. It is probably only for my skin tone maybe. I don't know what it is, but I personally feel that in artificial light iPhone selfies have come out quite bad, particularly for me, and I prefer the way Samsung processes it. You can call it maybe it's more natural, but I don't think it's natural. I mean, it actually makes it worse. I don't know how. It makes you look more aged and something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, in a nutshell, I don't like the selfies from the iPhone, especially in low light, and that is one of the main reason I moved back to the S24 Ultra. And yes, the other one is that I have been using the S Pen also, not very frequently, but yeah, sometimes I use it to take selfies, just sign documents, etc. So yeah, so that is another one, another positive advantage that S24 Ultra has over iPhone 15 Pro Max. But I think with the iOS 18 that is coming up, maybe the things will change because of all the new Apple Intelligence features. I think that they are also giving you more options to customize the interface, changing the color. Probably widgets will also improve. So let's see how it goes. I don't know whether I will have the iPhone till that time or not, but probably I will buy the iPhone for 16 Pro Max. I don't know. Let's see what happens. It's still quite a few months away. And so yeah, that's what I wanted to say in terms of iPhone 15 Pro Max. If you are into the iOS ecosystem or the Apple ecosystem, then yes, it makes sense to go for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Especially now it is slightly cheaper than at launch price. I think the iPhone 15 Pro is even cheaper. So it depends on the use case. If you want a lighter weight phone, then iPhone go for 15 Pro. I will not recommend going for the 15 base 15 series because it does not have 120 hertz. It has one less camera. So 15 Pro or 15 Pro Max, that will be my suggestion if you want an iPhone immediately. But if you want to wait, then of course wait for September. You will get the new iPhone 16 series. So overall, what I want to say is that it is actually a personal preference whether you want to opt for an S24 Ultra or any other Android flagship, or you go for an iPhone. iPhones are generally, you know, it just works, as people will say. It is very consistent, great battery life, good cameras. If you like Apple processing, that is, and you can't go wrong with iPhone. That's what I wanted to say. Yes, you lose out on some customizability that you get on Android, but when you go for an iPhone, you know what you are getting into. And yes, iPhone still has the best brand value of any brand. And the most important thing is that iPhone has the best resale value of any phone out there. Samsung might launch many even more expensive phones than Apple, but the resale value of an iPhone is still unbeatable, and I don't think that will change. So that is what I wanted to share, guys. Why I have moved back to S24 Ultra and not using iPhone 15 Pro Max anymore. I mean, I still have it. Sometimes I pick it up. It lies at my home. I pick it up, browse around, play some YouTube videos on it. That's it. But I don't carry it with me for work or anything. So let's see if things change or not. But that's it from my side for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and please do like and subscribe. Thank you.